Hello, beautiful people. Thanks for joining me. And we're going to have a little bit of a discussion here. Can you bury someone in your backyard in California? In California, someone can be fined up to $10,000 for a home burial and end up getting charged with a misdemeanor. However, even if your state isn't on that list, there might be other regulations in place that make it tricky to go through with a backyard burial. This is July 25, 2022, last year, and the law hasn't been changed. Did Meghan Markle really have a miscarriage, or is it a myth carriage? You tell me.
Someone had said to me a long time ago, don't give it 5 minutes if you're not going to give it 5 years.
Now, I gotta tell you, the Queen had her priorities straight. It is the Queen, the heir, the firstborn, and the great grandchild. That's a direct line of succession. I don't understand why Charles is having Meghan Markle and Harry grinning like idiots. Camilla and the three kids. He should be following in the Queen's footsteps. It seems that he's taking everything that the Queen did right and doing it his way, which is wrong. The picture that should have been put there should have been of himself, of William, and Prince George. That's it. You don't see Prince Philip there in that picture. No, there was no need for Prince Philip to be there. But now Charles is more intent on pushing Camilla than actually being king and keeping the attention on himself. He doesn't want anything to be detracted from Camilla and himself. So he's second fiddle to Camilla. Insane. Hello, beautiful people. I'm not going to do my video today because my eye is acting up. As you can see, it refuses to heal. I went to the doctor today and it was quite painful. So yeah, $50 for this. No, I haven't had eye surgery. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will be having a live with Mac, the Angry Bootnik, on Sunday at 10 a.m. California time. So hope to see you there. And thanks for subscribing, sharing, liking. Thanks for the PayPal donations and for the super thanks. Thanks very much. Thanks for being here.
You can't make a good deal with a bad person. Just forget it. Now, if you think you can draw up a contract that is going to work against a bad person, they're going to win. For one thing, they probably enjoy litigation. They may lose eventually, in the way, but it's no way to spend your life.
I want to talk about Meghan Markle's alleged miscarriage. To me, this is a myth carriage. But let's see what you guys think. This is an op-ed that she wrote for the Washington Post, if I'm not, or New York Post, one of those left-wing thingies. And it's called The Losses We Share by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Okay, perhaps the path to healing begins with 3 simple words. Are you okay? Before we get started, let's not forget Netflix here, okay? Because let's remember, I'm going to read this and I'm going to be putting a little video that I did on TikTok about Abigail and Meghan herself talking in that Netflix thing. I don't know if I can put it here because I get copyright strikes, where Abigail is saying that she went to see Meghan in her new home. Meghan came outside and she wasn't feeling well. She was bleeding and everything. And then in that same Netflix thing, we see Meghan Markle talking that it was her first day and that she had pains and that she was on her own. And she fell to the floor or whatever. And then what we have here in this op-ed. So there's 3 versions of the same event, unless she had 3 miscarriages. So she's talking about it was a July morning that began ordinarily as any other day. Make breakfast because, of course, she doesn't have maids. Feed the dogs. Take vitamins. Find that missing sock. Oh, my goodness, what a mystery. Pick up the rogue crayon that rolled under the table. Can you imagine? I just can't picture this talking about like Meghan Markle. It's actually sickening. Throw my hair in a ponytail before getting my son from his crib. After changing his diaper, I felt a sharp cramp. Oh my God. I dropped to the floor with him in my arms, humming a lullaby to keep us both calm. The cheerful tune in stark a stark contrast to my sense that something was not right. Where is Abigail in all of this? Because Abigail said Meghan Markle basically had an abortion or a miscarriage right in front of her. I knew as I clutched my firstborn child that I was losing my second child. I mean, I just wish she would have done something really original, because this is a complete plagiarism from an author who was talking about this. Basically, it's word by word but instead of the second child, the author said she was losing her third child, if I'm not mistaken. Why can't she be original? Something. I don't know. I was doing yoga. I was playing with one of the dogs, something like that. No, she has to plagiarize something. I don't know what's wrong with this woman.
Waiting for me, and I can tell something's off. And she's like showing me the new home, so it's very mixed emotion because here's our new home, but she's like, I'm having a lot of pain. She was holding Archie, and she just fell to the ground, and I was pregnant. I really wasn't sleeping, and the first morning that we woke up in our new home is when I miscarried.
According to Harry's book, she was less than 2 months pregnant. When you're less than 2 months pregnant, most of the times when you lose a child, you don't even notice it. You don't even notice it. If you're like 6 or 8 weeks along, you don't even notice it. That is that small the baby is, and it's not a big deal or anything. But she says, hours later, I lay in a hospital bed, holding my husband's hand. I felt the clamminess of his palm and kissed his knuckles, wet from both our tears. Staring at the cold white walls, my eyes glazed over. I tried to imagine how it would heal. You heal pretty well with Netflix. I recalled a moment last year when Harry and I were finishing up a long tour in South Africa. I was exhausted. I was breastfeeding our infant son, and I was trying to keep a brave face in the very public eye. From what? This is what I don't get. Keeping a very brave face on the face of what? That she had so many nannies? That she was angry she wasn't getting $2 million allowances, or that she was not allowed to commercialize or keep taking freebies or demanding the freebies, which is illegal. So I am wondering what the hell's going on here. Because you don't need to go. I mean, you go because I can understand she's a geriatric pregnancy. So sometimes, if you have any remains of the baby, sometimes they do an autopsy in order for the doctors to determine maybe what's wrong so you can prevent it for the next pregnancy. So according to them, she moved around July 1st. And it's really funny because Meghan Markle tries to do everything on Princess Diana's birthday. It's like she had sex with Harry on July 1st, 2016. She sealed the deal there. And she moved into her house in July 1st. So on July 2nd, she had the MYTHcarriage. And I'm mispronouncing it on purpose, by the way. It's not my accent. So this woman is actually insane. So in July, she had the miscarriage. And yet in September, she must get pregnant in September in order for Lily to be born on the date that she was born. So something is not right here, because if she had an abortion or she had a miscarriage in July, early July, that will take her about 2 months, 8 weeks for her to be able to menstruate again. And for her in her age, it's recommended that you wait actually a little bit longer. Okay, but let's go with this. Let's just right now inspect this episode in her life. I am not going to really bother you guys with all this dribble and crap. But at the very bottom of this, where it says, sitting in a hospital bed, watching my husband's heart break as he tried to hold the shattered pieces of mine, I realized that the only way to begin to heal is to first ask, are you okay? I mean, having a miscarriage, a real miscarriage, is terrible. I've had one and it's horrible. I lost, babies, and it's not something that's nice, especially when you want more children, right? And this is not about making fun about Meghan Markle. This is about the fact that she lies about something. And it is my very humble opinion that the only reason why she's putting this out is because Chrissy Teigen, I think her name is, she's married to John Legend, another mean girl from Deal or No Deal. wrote a story about it and about her miscarriage, and she got worldwide sympathy. So Meghan said, we know how Meghan loves to jump in bandwagons, right? So why not? To me, this basically defines Meghan Markle. On top of all of this, it seems we no longer agree on what is true. We aren't just fighting over our opinions of facts. We are polarized over whether the fact is, in fact, a fact. We are at odds over whether science is real. We are at odds over whether an election has been won or lost. We are at odds over the value of compromise. This is very rich, and this is actually very true, because Meghan Markle believes that her lies are fact. And the fact that we say, no, you are lying, bitch. You're lying. You're a skank. You're a skanky hoe who lies. So she gets angry because we don't buy her lies. And it's because she doesn't even put effort into lying. Her lies are so easily discovered, exposed. It's not even funny. I mean, if you're going to lie and grift, can you please make more of an effort and lie better? I mean, it just doesn't jive with me. I'm sorry. And this is, for me, what Meghan Markle thinks of the world, that the whole world and every day in her life is an audition. Every time she speaks, and this is why she comes across as fake, because she thinks that everything is an audition. Oh, you wanted me to cry? I'll cry. Oh, you want me to laugh? I'll laugh. Everything is exaggerated. Everything is fake, false lies. Because the entire world, her entire life, and even her children's life, if there are any, it's like an audition, a permanent audition in her mind, in her head. Now, this is where things really take the pickle for me, because I don't understand what the hell she's talking about here. Women are not stigmatized or demonized for having a miscarriage. She's confusing that with having an abortion, where it's polarized, which is completely different. People are for or against abortion, but nobody demonizes or mistreats a woman who has suffered a miscarriage, because it's something that you didn't want to happen to you. It's the loss of a child, of a very wanted child. So this is a big difference between miscarriage and abortion, but she's trying to combine the both, as though, like a miscarriage is the same as an abortion, as an abortion that you choose to get rid of a healthy baby. So she's trying to compare that in order to make abortion okay. I'm not telling you whether I'm for or against. I'm just trying to tell you what she's trying to do, because she goes here and says, yet despite the staggering commonality of this pain, the conversation remains taboo, riddled with an unwarranted shame, and perpetuating a cycle of solitary mourning. What the hell is this woman on about? The only polarizing conversation right now is whether you're for or against abortion. But miscarriage, no. But this is because she wants to be a victim. I'm sick and tired of this woman. Now, whether Meghan carried Archie or not, or even Lily, or if those children are in fact around, it's up for debate, because of all the inconsistencies, everything that's going on, everything that went on that are lies, the fact that they haven't presented the legal documentation required to verify that those children were born out of her body. Okay? And what you just saw was Abigail Spencer talking about a completely different miscarriage, and Meghan talking about another different miscarriage. So we have those three versions of miscarriages. So to me, because there's so many versions of things, it becomes a mythcarriage. Now, I posted a while back something about that Harry's dukedom is hereditary, which means that Archie becomes a Duke of Sussex when Harry dies, as long as the child was lawfully begotten. And I know all the sugars are going to get insane with this. I'll tell you what lawfully begotten means. It doesn't matter what Meghan Markle goes for IVF. Let's say she froze her eggs and they use Harry's sperm and they fertilize the eggs and they put it up her VJ. Okay, and then she gives birth and she carries the children. Why does that matter, that the child must be born out of the woman's body? Because in the UK, and even in the US, you still have to go through a process of adoption. A judge has to, even if you have a contract, and I've asked in California, that, for example, even if you get a surrogate, and when the surrogate goes to the hospital to have the child, you will see it in the birth, at the records, at the hospital records. It'll say that the child was born out of X lady, right? For example, in Kim Kardashian's and Kanye West, or Ye. Because for medical reasons, for insurance in case there are any complications. So the name that appears in the life thing from the doctors and the hospitals that they give you has the woman who actually carried the child. Then, with those documents and the contract, they have to go before a judge. So the judge says, okay, but Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are the legal parents of these children. And then with that document, they send it, all of those documents, they get sent to the registrar's office in California or anywhere in the States. So when the birth certificate comes out about 8 or 9 weeks later, the parent's name is there, not the surrogate's name. So it's the same thing, because let me tell you something. In the United Kingdom, the child belongs to the surrogate, even if it has the DNA of other parents in you. So legally, the child belongs to the surrogate, the one who carries the child and the one who gives birth to the child, which means that none of Meghan Markle's children would be eligible to be in the line of succession. Hence, why the document with the doctor's signature testifying that they delivered the children from Meghan Markle's body is a must. Just like Catherine presented hers. Because people say, oh, well, you know, that was way back. No. Prince Louis is what, 4 or 5? Almost the same age as Archie. All the royal children, especially the ones in the, you know, up to the 6th in line of succession, all records must be public, and there must be no doubt. But I don't know. Because people wonder, why are we doubting that Meghan Markle carried Archie and Lilibet? I mean, this is February 7th, and the other one is January 16th. Actually, the one in January 16th was bigger than the one in February 7th. And we go back to the moon bumps, which you can get in all sizes, and even with a belly button. So to summarize all of this, did Meghan Markle have a miscarriage, or do you think she, once again, was lying about everything? To me, she's a big fat liar, and it's about time she gets called up. And no, I don't agree that Charles was playing the smart game by putting Meghan Markle in the picture. He's still rewarding bad behavior, actions, and nastiness. So I ask you, I know I'll get a lot of sugars here. Do you understand now why it's important to have that document with the doctor's signature testifying that the child was delivered from Meghan Markle's body? Because any other means, it would be considered an adoption, and adopted children cannot be in the line of succession. Okay? Number 2, do you think which one of the 3 versions of the miscarriage is true? Or was there any miscarriage at all? Or is this another big fat lie from Meghan Markle? Please tell me.